Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The theories of creation are presented in our scriptures, nothing to discuss with creation, but to bring to our cognition the truth that we are. When some purpose is not clear, we get lost into non-essentials. See, one example I will tell you. I was in somebody's house and it was evening time. The mother was busy cooking food for me. She had two children, one small boy about 8 months and a daughter about 7-8 years. And the child was crying non-stop. So the mother told the daughter, kindly take him away and put him to sleep. He's making noise. So she took the baby and took him around, took him to the balcony and showed, see, there is a cow. So the child is looking at the cow. Then he remembers, oh, I have to cry. Again the sister will tell, see, the crow is flying, where it is going? Again after 4 or 5 things were shown, the child forgot crying and slept. And then he was put on the bed. So I asked the child, that little girl, I said, hey, what were you doing? No, I was putting my brother to sleep. He was making noise and troubling mom because he was sleepy, he was cranky. I said, why are you telling me lies? You didn't tell him to sleep. You showed him cow, you showed him crow, you showed him this and that. When did you tell him that go to sleep? And you are telling me lies straight away. So she got so confused. She said, Swamiji, I was trying to put him to sleep. I said, but you showed something else. Then she asked me, Swamiji, do you have a child? I said, no. Then you can never understand how true it is. Now, she was not showing the child anything. The purpose was that he should go to sleep, is it not? But if the intellectuals ask this question, you are going the wrong way. If you are to put the child to sleep, you should tell the child, beta, go to sleep. Why show him the crow and the cow? Now to such wise people, what can you do? Therefore, it is necessary for us to understand that the topic of creation in our scriptures has nothing to do with reference to the many theories of creation. Like in Taittiriya Upanishad, there are 5 great elements: space, air, fire, water and earth. And they talk about Panchikaranam, grossification. But if you study the Chandogya Upanishad, their first 2 elements are missing. There is only the fire, water and air. Does it mean there is a contradiction among them or not? The purpose is different. And therefore, having told this, thus the gross bodies are created. Now, having created the gross bodies, thereafter the Lord Himself entered the gross bodies, and thereafter He is limited by the limitations of the conditions. See? Therefore, it is said, in this world there are 2 types of people, those who are married and those who are happy. Now, what is the meaning of a happy man? The one who is functioning without any limitation. And what is the husband? A man functioning with the limitations of the wife is called as husband. So he doesn't have total freedom. Naturally, the impact of the wife will be seen on his face. He will be always in a pathetic mode. In the same manner, absolute Paramatma, Satchidananda, conscious blissful existence, when manifesting through the limitations of the sense organs, mind, intellect, etc., it will be reduced to that extent. So this reduction of the absolute to the relative is called as Jiva. Space is infinite. North, east, west, south. They are called as Jiva. See, friends. So what is the east or any direction? The total space conditioned by the relationship between the earth and the sun is called as east. And after the east is established, then the other directions are established. But all the directions are essentially only the space. See, friends. But we forget the space and we are so much overpowered by this direction, and then the Vastu Shastra and the Feng Shui and the pyramids and all kinds of funny things keep becoming most important in our life. See? Because attention is not on the absolute. In the same manner, the absolute reality expressing through the limitations of the Panchakoshas, and thereby as if coming under the influence of the Panchakoshas, is called as Jiva or the soul. Yesterday we have seen this soul is not one per head. This basic error must be corrected. Soul is not one per head. Like bulbs may be many, but the principle of light is common. Now apply the same principle in our life. Life is common for all of us. Hunger, thirst, joy, sorrows, honor, dishonor, achievement, failure. It's common for everybody. There is no difference. But what happens? That we get identified with one particular body, and this is what the teacher says. Krutva rupaltaram jaivam dehi pravisharishvaraha iti tashrutaya prahu jivatvam pranadharana. So after the absolute is expressing through the limitations of the body, etc., then the body becomes enlivened. Be very attentive. Paramatma is present equally in the living body as well as in the dead body. Without Paramatma, if the dead body can exist, then dead body is more powerful than Paramatma. So the truth, the absolute reality, is equally present in the dead body as well as the living body. Then what is the difference? The difference is in the living body, the absolute reality is able to express as mind, and thereby that body becomes enlivened. In case of the dead body, the absolute reality is unable to express as mind, and therefore that body is called as dead. But behind both the bodies, conscious reality is the same. It is something like this. There are two bulbs next to each other. Through one bulb the light is coming out, and through the other bulb there is no light. And if a statement is made, behind both the bulbs, the one giving the light and one without light, there is presence of electrical energy. And if we say, I don't believe it, how can you say? So what could be told to that person? Remove the fuse bulb and put your fingers and come to direct realize. Yes, even behind the fuse bulb, there is electrical energy. So what was the problem? The problem was the ability of the bulb to convert the electrical energy into the light was lost in the same manner. The body, like the bulb, is not capable of transforming the conscious existence into the phenomena called as mind, then that body is declared as dead. See, you must have seen this thing in your, I don't know, these days those bulbs are not there. Earlier the bulb used to have a filament in that. Suppose you are studying something and the bulb becomes fused. Now at night you can't go anywhere and get it. So what we used to do was lift the table lamp and move it like this. Somehow or the other, make the filament touch both the cathode and anode. When it touches, suddenly the light comes. Therefore, friends, recognize this principle. Jivatva is not jiva. Jivatva is sentiency, being alive. Now, after having created this jiva, then this Maheshwari tu Mayaya Tasya Nirvana Shaktiman Vidyate Moha Shaktisha Tam Jivan Mohayanti Asau. And then this having created the jiva, this Maya Shakti thereafter is deluding this jiva. Now what is the meaning of deluding the jiva? Now see, be very attentive. A child which is born, he has the energy for procreation dormant in him. When the child is growing slowly, he or she comes to the age of puberty. When he or she comes to the age of puberty, then that dormant procreating power starts becoming manifest. And that power creates a thought in the mind of that man or boy, what a life without a wife. And then he is looking at the whole world as the potential wife. He doesn't understand the potential thread. And thereafter he gets married. Okay. Did anybody compel you to get married? No, my mommy wants me to get married, Swamiji, what should I do? All those people who say like that, they actually want to get married. Don't blame that poor mommy. One boy came and told Swamiji, I really don't want to get married. I want to walk the spiritual path, but my mommy is telling, what should I do? I said, you tell your mommy to get married 10 times. Leave me. No, but how can I disrespect my mom? So for her sake, I want to get married. We are cheating ourselves. See, friends. So this Maya Shakti, we started manifesting as maturity, and thereafter we get married, and then Mohat Anishatam Prapya. Then we are deluded by our own creation. See? And thereafter, next thought comes by the same Maya Shakti. What a life because of the wife. Earlier the thought was, what a life without the wife. The change. In this manner, this delusion is established. So, Mohat Anishatam Prapya Magno Pushishochati. Then this Jivatva, because of the delusion, Anishatam Prapya. Isha means the super controller. Anishata means the controlled one. Before the marriage, I am totally free. I go anywhere I want to go. Or don't go. I have total freedom. Now for everything, let me ask her. Therefore in somebody's house I read one small sticker. I am the head of the family. With the permission of my wife, I wrote this. So Anishatam Prapya, Ishwaratva, the freedom, the overlordship is completely lost. What is the reason? Vakushi magnaha. Now we are identified with one particular body. Now see, if somebody else's child is going the wrong way, what is our interaction? And when our own child is going the wrong way, what is our interaction? When someone else's child is going the wrong way, our interaction is, these days, you know, the values are deteriorating. I don't know what's going to happen. And we become philosopher and forget about it. But when our own Dumbo, something goes wrong, then, I don't know, life is gone. So many money I have spent on them, but nothing is coming out. Frustration. Because identified with that particular child as my child. See? Then anishatam prapya magna vapushi shochati. And what is the net result? Net result is all the time frustrated, depressed, dejected. Friends, we are all miserable by our choice. Nobody can make us miserable. God has given us everything. If you look within, healthy body, beautiful face, nice eyes, good hunger, proper sleep, good house, everything. And yet, it is an insult to the divine if we express a miserable expression. Swami Vivekananda used to say, now I am afraid about talking anything about Swami Vivekananda. So Swami Vivekananda used to say, your makeup is not complete unless you wear a smile when you go out of the house. If you want to have a frown space, go to the bathroom and stay there till you completely flush out all your dirty thoughts and become fresh and come in the world and a divine expression of joy. Anybody who looks at us should feel good. Rabindranath Tagore and Mahatma Gandhi in Shantiniketan. Evening time, Mahatma Gandhi told Rabindranath Tagore, shall we go for a walk? Yes. Come, he was staying at the room. Give me 15 minutes. For Mahatma Gandhi to get ready, no problem. Ever ready battery? Doesn't have to be always ready. And Rabindranath Tagore, he said, wait for some time. And he had a nice gown, properly washed and ironed, and beautiful, luxurious hair growing. And in that majestic way, he came out. And then Mahatma Gandhi said, how much time you are wasting on this rubbish? Rabindranath Tagore said to Mahatma Gandhi, for you, you have nothing to do makeup. Because you have nothing, not even hair. But when I walk in a properly dressed way, people look at me and they feel good. See, friends, our presentation to the world should be such that anybody who looks at us should feel good, is it not? That is life. Otherwise, wherever we go, all the way. And you know, all those people who present themselves as miserable, frustrated, painful, they are very strong egos. Because if you walk straight away, nobody will bother about you. While walking, suddenly you look, oh God, what happened? If you give attention first, I will not do this natak. See, friends, be cheerful and happy. That is the highest spiritual practice. But Magna Vapushi Shochati, we are living in a cocoon existence and therefore all the time miserable. And Isha Sushtamidam Dvaitam Sarvam Uktam Samasata. Up to here is God's creation. So body identification is God's creation. Be very attentive. If you are standing in front of the mirror, can you stop your face being reflected in the mirror? You cannot stop. It's natural. In the same manner, when we are expressing through the body, identification with the body is natural. There is no problem in that. The problem comes when this body I am and that body I am not. See, friends. It is something like this, Woman as a mother is best. Woman as a mother-in-law of the son-in-law is better than the best. Do you know the reason? It is not the love for the son-in-law. It is the sympathy. Poor fellow. What I gave him, I know. So it is out of the sympathy that the mother-in-law loves the son-in-law. Now the same lady who was good as a mother, better as a mother-in-law to the son-in-law, the same lady when she becomes the mother-in-law of a daughter-in-law, Kali, Karali, cha Bhayanaka cha. See the difference? See, friends. Therefore, this identification is natural, but if the identification is taken in its totality, how totality? Will the mirror ever say to a beautiful girl standing before him, hey, come on, hang on for some more time, please? And if a useless fellow like me go and stand before the mirror, hatta, dusre ko aane de. See, in the same manner, if we recognize this principle, identification with the body is not a problem, but limiting the identification only to one body, from there the problems begin. And therefore, Magna Bhushishoshati, Isha Srushtamidam Dvaitam Sarvam Uttam Samasata. Up to here is the creation of God. Now, what is the creation of the soul, the jiva? From here, the next topic begins. Saptanna Brahmane Dvaitam Jiva Srishtam Prapanchitam Annani Sapta Jnanena Karmana Ajanayat Pita. In the Saptanna Brahmana of Rudaranya Upanishad, Jiva Srishtam Dvaitam Prapanchitam. The world created by the jiva, the soul, is explained exhaustively, and it is said that there are 7 types of foods which are created by the jiva because of knowledge and action. 2 things. Now, what are those 7 types of foods? In the next one, the teacher says, Martyannam Ekam, Devane Dve, so totally 3, Pashwanam Chatursakam, and then Anya Shrudayam Atmartham Annanam Vidyojatam. So there are 7 types of foods. Food is meant for what? Food is meant, what is food? If it is just, let us take raw vegetables, unless you are a naturopathy victim. Normally, when we take food, we cook the food nicely, add spices, ghee, mirch, masala, and then it is called as real food. But if you are a victim of the naturopathy, then the wheat grass is grown and the whole family goes on their knees and starve. Naturopathy. Useless. That is not the purpose for human beings. That kind of food is food for the animals. Human beings must eat very tasty food. Those who are not developed the taste for food, they are by mistake born as human beings. One day I was in somebody's house and taking food, and I said, Mama, give me some salt and less salt in this sabji. So she gave me. Swamiji, at least you told. My husband doesn't tell even whether they say less salt or more spices. I don't know why he does like that. I said, look here, food with taste. I am not a buffalo. Give anything. So, what is food? Food is a consumable atom. Things are available, but are they consumable? So, 7 types of consumable atoms are created by the Jiva through knowledge and karma. So, which are those 7? Vrihadikam, Darsha Purnamasau, Kshiram Tata Manaha, Vak Prana, Sheti Saptatvam, Annanam Avagamyatam. Now, what are the 7 types of foods which the Jiva's creation include? First, Vrihadikam, Martyannam. We the mortals, we eat the various kinds of foods which are grown like the wheat. We don't eat wheat. We will be converting the wheat into so many dishes and then we eat. See, if you take one simple thing like rice, we don't go and eat directly rice. First of all, we put the rice along with something else into water for overnight and make it rot. And then next day we grind it and we call it dough for the idli or rotten food. Jnana karmabhyam, by knowledge and karma. So the first day idli is prepared out of that rice. And then it was prepared in a huge quantity. So next day the same dough is used for making the uttapam. Little thinner than the idli. And then the third day again it is still remaining. Then the same thing is used for making the dosha. And still it is still remaining. Then the fourth day it is used for making the paper dosha. Out of one rice, how many dishes are made? Jnana karmabhyam. So this is one food for the Maratya, the mortals like us. Then for the gods, it is Darsha Purnamaso. There are 2 types of pujas which are done for the gods. One on the Purnima and other on the Amavasya. These 2 days, various pujas are done. This is called as Darsha and Purnamasa. And there various kinds of offerings are given to the gods. Then the third comes Kshiram. For the animals, it is the unmodified, unchanged food. Animals don't have cooked food unless they are American animals. You get advertisement there also that when the particular cat is given food, she refuses to take. And then the useless lady, those who cannot love human beings, they love animals. So she doesn't take the food. Then the cat is taken by that useless lady to the shop in there. And then when that cat sees a particular brand, yes, I want that. So normally, if animals take the food as it is, therefore kshiram, the milk. We convert the milk into ice cream and eat. But the cows and buffaloes, they eat the milk directly in this manner. This is the 4th type of food. And for the soul, there are 3 types of foods. Mind, speech and vak. Mind, speech and prana, these 3. So with the help of these 3, the soul is consuming the world. See, through the prana, the soul is sustained by taking the food, hunger and thirst. Through the speech, the soul is sustained by expressing his emotions, etc. And through the mind, the soul sustains by coming in contact with the world. In this manner, these are the 7 foods which are in the creation of the jiva or the soul. Now, up to here we are seeing 2 creations. One is God's creation up to the jiva who gets identified with the body. Up to here God is there. God's creation. Hereafter, having got identified with the body, then the jiva srishti begins. Things are there. Everything that we look and interact with is only for one purpose. How I can use it for my benefit. Jnana karma. First knowledge. All these telemarketing, various kinds of things that are shown on the screen. This is a special type of potato cutting machine which can cut exactly same size potato cubes, 5 kilos in 2 minutes. And they demonstrate. And this useless lady who does nothing in home except sitting on a potato couch type, sitting there, she looks at, oh, it's so very good, And then immediately, if you order now 2,000 rupees, afterwards 20,000 rupees, oh, 18,000 I am saving. And then immediately she will dial an order. And after that machine comes, then the problem is, in our house we are only, hum do hamara koi nahi. Now only these two fellows and the machine which can cut potatoes, 20 kg of potato in 2 minutes. For whom will you cut it? But we have to buy that. Because jnana, the knowledge is there, then karma immediately act. In this manner, all our life is guided by these two principles. First we come to know about something and then we act on that. This is how the mobile phones are sold. 99% people do not use the mobile phone beyond receiving the calls because incoming free. Normally they give the missed call and then you have to call them. When I got sometime missed call, I didn't reply. So that person said SMS, still cheaper. You didn't call me. I said, why should I call you? I don't have any need to call you. No, but I want to talk. And then you call. No, incoming free. So, the incoming free call, then SMS, at the most the camera, that also they don't know. But they want to get the latest phone. Samsung Galaxy Note. And then you feel very good. And then you don't know even how to use it, Then ask somebody, I say, you ban kaisa karte? I have to switch it off. Jnana, karma. These are the two things because of which we get lost in this world. And then we create the whole world. This NRIs, when they come to India for getting married, their parents keep a deck of card type pictures of these girls. Not good, too dumb, either crossroad, no, this is this is jnana. Then karma, and then yes, we can get, but I am in a hurry. We should get it finished within 2 days. See, karma. And thereafter, I don't know, why did I get married? Samsara begins. So everything in this world becomes a bondage for us if we interact to get something out of this world. So this way, Jiva Srishti is created. Now a question is here, says, sir, what you are telling is true to some extent, not completely. Because everything is created by God. For example, the example I gave you about the rice. Rice is created by God. It is God's creation. How do you say that it is Jiva's creation? So the teacher says, here onward we go a little deeper. We are here. Ishena yatya petani nirmitani swarupataha tathapi jnana karamabhyam jivo akarshit tadannata. Although things are created by God, but by the knowledge and action, we create three things. Number one, name, form and utility. Name, form and utility. When these three things are attached to anything as a tag, from then onwards, our jiva samsara begins. And to certain extent we get attached to that. Once we were going to Badrinath with youngsters from Delhi. And normally I sit on the back seat, back bench on the left corner. The reason being, when I sit on the worst seat, then nobody else complains about the sitting arrangement. That is the main idea. Otherwise, when you go, everybody wants to sit near the window, and you can't get so many windows as per the number of seats. So the best is I sit on the back seat, which is very bumpy. Oh, Swami is sitting there. How can we complain? This is the technique. So when I was sitting, next seat was free, and one girl came and said, "Swami, can I sit?" "You can sit." Then she said, "Swami, tell me something." I said, "Okay, we'll play." "What is to play?" I said, "I will call the name of that boy. His name was Ashok. I will call his name little loudly and not say any word in your ear, but you start laughing. And finally you get away from me." Then I said, "Let's see what happens." So she sat, and then after some time I said, "You know that Ashok?" So when I said Ashok, he looked behind. Then I talked, and she started laughing. So much laughing. Finally she went, "I can't sit with you, make me laugh so much." Now this boy, Ashok, what did somebody say about me? Why she is laughing so much? And then he came, "Swami, may I join with you?" I said, "Yes, you are welcome." And I can act dumb very well. Then he said, "Swami, why that girl was laughing?" I said, "You ask her." Maybe ask her. I am not a controller of everything. Why she was? "You must have said something." "No, I didn't say something. But I have seen you putting something in your ear, by your mouth." I said, "No, I didn't say anything." No, but she was laughing. I said, "Yes, she was laughing. But why? How do I know?" "You go and ask her." So he went to her. "What did somebody tell you?" "No, he didn't tell me anything. Because I didn't tell anything." "Then why you are laughing?" She said, "Who are you to question me? I will laugh whenever I want." And he became so miserable. Why they were laughing at me? Because Ashoka is my name. See, this is how our creation begins. Identification with the name, form and utility. The day we understand this, that we give importance to something or somebody, and because of that, the whole samsara begins. If you recognize this principle of our creation, we have created this world by giving importance by ourselves. The world enters our mind when we have invited the world. See? It is something like this, Nobody is born with a cigarette in the mouth and lighter in the hand. And yet, we start smoking. How we start? We see the billboard, one useless fellow sitting on a Honda, and one Hondi sitting behind, and in his mouth there is one cigarette, and his Hondi puts her hand around him, and with the lighter, and this fellow is driving, he looks at him. I think I am that man. Now what is required is only one Hondi behind. But let me start at least. Imagination. And then we start. First cigarette you smoke, the smoke comes out of every home. Nose, eyes, ears, you get frustrated. Then others laugh. When others laugh, it becomes a prestige issue. What do you think? I can achieve anything. And then you start with sadhana. Dhumrapanam, Shatabodanam, and after some time, you become expert in that smoking. And then, Akhanda Mandalakar. And thereafter, you don't smoke the cigarette starts smoking you. This is how our world is created. You give importance to anything or anybody in this world, that thing or body will be the cause of your misery in life. See, give importance to your children, they will make you miserable. Give importance to your wife, she will make you miserable. Give importance to your daughter-in-law, she will make you miserable. Give importance to your mother-in-law, she will make you miserable. Why give importance? And therefore, we create our own creation and we are suffering. So, tatapi jnana karmabhyam jivaha akashit annatam. It is because of this wrong interaction of knowledge and action, annatam, the natural things are converted into utilitarian approach. See? In the finite world, we always talk about utility and saving. Energy crisis. In the nature, everything is so luxuriously wasted. Now, to understand this, the teacher gives an example. Ishakaryam jiva bhogyam jagat dvabhyam samanvitam pitrujanya bharjo bhogya yatha yoshitatam. Now take an example. Ishakaryam jiva bhogyam yoshit. Yoshit means a woman. A woman is created by God, so it is Ishwar Karya, creation of God. And Bhartru Jiva Bhogyam is an object of enjoyment for the Jiva, the soul. So, example is Pitrujanya. The daughter is created by the father and the husband is enjoying that wife. Woman is the same. Because of the daughter, the father is not miserable, but because of the wife, the husband is not happy. See? So what is the difference between the two? It is the same woman. Isha Karyam. The whole world created by the God, there is no misery in that. But the moment we indulge in anything in this world, our miseries begin. Yatha yoshit tadeshatam. In this manner, in this world, there are two aspects. One is God's creation, and in the God's creation, we create our creation by thought and action. And when thought and actions are not present, as in deep sleep, that time we are in God's creation. In deep sleep, we are neither mother, father, husband, wife, brother, sister, in-law, outlaw. We are none. As a result, no actions. And when there is no knowledge, no action, there is nobody. When there is nobody, there is all happiness. That is why people want to sleep, even in satsang. Only reason is this: they want to enter the God's creation. What I see from here, you can't see from there. From here I get the Ishvara Srishti. And what you are seeing is the Jiva Srishti. Therefore, these two aspects, everything has these two aspects. One is God's creation. In that God's creation, we have created our own world. And this, our creation, is a source of trouble. I received one very good service. The terrorists unite us. The politicians divide us. Therefore, let us invite the terrorists in our country if we want to stay united. The only way. So, Isha Karyam Jiva Bhogyam. That means the effect creation of the God becomes an object of indulgence by the Jiva, and in this manner, Jagat Dvabhyam Samanvitam, everything has got its two aspects. The same thing is creation of God, but out of the creation of God, the Jiva creates his own world. And thereafter suffers. Maya Vrutyatmako Isha Sankapa Sadhanam Janam Mano Vrutyatmako Jiva Sankalpo Bhogadhanam. Now be very attentive. The God created this world out of his potentiality called as Maya, and the Jiva uses his mind for indulging in this world. So God is creating this world not for indulgence, but the Jiva is creating his world in the God's creation for indulgence. So, the power behind God's creation is Maya Shakti, the divine potentiality, and the power behind the Jiva for indulging in this world is the mind's projection. When the mind is enfolded as in deep sleep, Jiva is nowhere. When there is no Jiva anywhere, there is no samsara, and there is only happiness. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita 2nd chapter, it is said, Ya disha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati sayyami yasyam jagrati bhutani sa disha pashyatu munehe. The wise one who is awakened to his divine self, for him this world created by the Jiva, the soul, has no existence because he is abiding in the divine. See, it is something like this. One day I went to the water and said, hey, as ocean you are terrible man, but as waves I really like you. So the water told me, excuse me gentlemen, what is ocean and what is a wave? From the water standpoint, neither ocean the cause nor wave the effect has any existence. See friends, therefore God cannot understand why we are miserable. We have created our miseries, we have to get out of it. Therefore friends, everything has these two aspects. This is God's creation. In the 7th chapter, Bhagavan says, Bhumi Rapo Nano Vayu Kham Mano Buddhi Revacha Ahankara Idiyame Bhinna Prakriti Veshtala. This eightfold Prakriti Maya is my Prakriti, my Maya. If it is Bhagavan's Prakriti, then if the Bhagavan, the God is our dad, then who is this Prakriti or Maya? She is our mom. In that case, indulgence cannot be the right way of living. See, it is only not the bhoga but the yoga. But our life begins, Jiva's creation begins with the bhoga as the primary aspect of existence. Therefore, the Jiva through his mind, Jiva Sankalpaha Bhoga Sadhanam. Then the whole life is spent only in indulgence and ultimately we become victim of our own creation. See, in 3rd chapter, Arjuna asked this question, why a person goes the wrong way although not willing to do that? What is the reason? Ata kena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha anichannapi varashneya baladivanyojitaha. In reply to that, Bhagavan says, Kama esha krodha esha rajoguna samudbhavaha maha ashanaha maha papma vidyenam evayalinam. There is desire alias anger. And desires cannot be satiated. See? But Jiva is constantly under the pressure of the desires. And because of that, he is constantly searching for something which is within his own heart. And therefore, his world is always full of dissatisfied existence. I want this, I want this. There is no end to it. If we start thinking coolly, why we want to fulfill our desires? Think within. We want to fulfill our desires because desires are abnormalities on the mind. They are not natural. See? On our shoulder is our head. And these ladies, they also keep on their shoulder a hold on, what they call as a purse. So whenever they are going anywhere, first thing what they will do, remove it and put it down. Then they will sit down. Why? Oh, it was too heavy. No, my shoulder is paining. But you are carrying your head on your shoulder. Are you not tired? Remove it. See? Why we don't remove the head from the shoulder? Because it is natural. It is not abnormal. The purse is abnormal. In the same manner, if desires were normally in human mind, we will not want to remove the desire. What is the fulfillment of the desire? Is nothing but the removal of the desire. Why we want to remove? Because it is abnormality. Once we recognize this principle, fulfillment of the desires is not the right way of living. Then alone we can get out of the jiva's creation and enter the divine kingdom. Therefore, manovrityatmako jiva sankalpaha bhoga sadhanam. So we keep on. Sankalpa means what? Sankalpa means samyakatva kalpana, means we go on projecting, following things on objects that we get involved. Number one, that object is beautiful. Number two, that object is essential. Number three, that object is the source of happiness. Number four, if that object is not available to me, what to live for? Number five, yena kena prakarena, I have to have it. This is how we build up a pressure on our mind. That pressure is called as desire. And wherever there is a pressure, you cannot be at peace. There are different types of pressures. One pressure is physical pressure. Carry a big load of suitcase, NRI suitcase on your head, you want to remove it. Pressure, troublesome. Physiological pressure, you are sitting in a satsang comfortably, suddenly somebody gets up and goes away. We feel, why this man is disturbing? Not disturbing. His BP pressure has increased, bladder pressure. He can't hold anymore. Physiological pressure. Third is the desire pressure. When the desire pressure is so much that other than fulfilling the desire, I want nothing. See friends, that desire is not fulfilled, anger. A person who is free from the load of any desire, he looks so innocent and beautiful. A person carrying the desire pressure, he is like peeping out of his senses. Ladies have got this faculty. They understand who is looking at them with what intention. They clearly understand it. Now how they understand, they only know. They also don't know, but they understand. Because the desire pressure peeps out of the region. See friends. And when the desire is overpowering, then we get lost in this world. And what is that? It is our own sankalpa. We only imagine that this is the source of happiness. Without this object, I cannot live. Without this object, life is meaningless. And this slowly develops into a terrible desire pressure, and then our samsara is created. Therefore, this jiva sankalpaha bhoga sadhanam. And because of this sankalpa, imagination, projection, we get involved into worldly objects. Now, one more example is given to make this point. Isha nirmita manyadau vastu neka vidhe sthite bhoktru dhi vritti nanatvat tat bhogo bhaudeshate. God has created only one thing, for example, is a diamond. Diamond is only one type. Now this diamond is looked upon by three people in three different ways. Object is only one type. But bhoktru dhi nanatvat, the one who is interacting with the diamond could be many, and because of that, there are three types of worlds created out of one diamond. Which are those three types of worlds? Rushyate ko manim labdva, rudyatyanye khyalabhatah, pashyate vavirakodra, na rushyati na kupyati. Now there is only one diamond, and a person who wanted it and who got it is so happy. The same diamond, another person wanted it, he could not get it, is very angry. The diamond is one, two worlds are created. One world there is happiness, other world there is misery or anger. Now there is the third creation. The third person is not interested in diamond at all. So, na rishyati na kupyati. He is neither happy nor miserable. So thus, object remaining the same, we the jiva create our own world. See? Like people when they are here, they go on imagining, oh how nice America must be, how beautiful it will be, I wish I can go there. You go there, within 1 week you feel, apna Ahmedabad is theek hai. Let's go back. Because there is only, you are in a golden cage, but you are in a cage. You can't go anywhere, you can't spit anywhere, you can't go in any direction. As if you are in a jail there. In our Ahmedabad, how nice it is. Anybody can go anywhere. This is what is called real democracy. They are all jail. Don't do this, don't do that. What kind of life? And our democracy is not limited to human beings. It is extended to the animals. Any buffalo can come and stand right in front of you and look at you with indifference. Nothing. This joy you will miss in the USA when you go. I have a friend of mine, he had got his TV channel, so he interviewed me once for that channel. And he gave me the whole question. So I mean, you can prepare these answers. I said, I don't reply the same question twice. Keep it with you. You don't prepare, I said, you prepare, I don't prepare. So after my interview was over, he said, I have interviewed Atal Bihari Vajpayee, I have interviewed few presidents from India, few presidents from USA, but I was never, he could not use the word. I said, I was never dumbfounded. Yes, I was never dumbfounded as you did to me. I said, the reason is, you want to prove something, I don't want to prove anything. After that was over, then I said, hey, now forget about the interview. Tell me something about you. You are a Sindhi. Sindhis are worth knowing and inquiring into. So, tell something. Then he said, my father was here, but now he has gone to India. Why? He got bored. So why bored? His argument is, in India, I think they are from Delhi, there is such a joy in the morning, the paper wala comes, you talk to him, bhaiya kaise ho, he goes away. Then Kamwali comes, and then you talk to her, and then you go for buying vegetables, you discuss, you bargain. There is life everywhere. In USA, like robots, you go to the take out, and there are shops where even there is nobody on the counter. You take the thing, pick, and put your card and go away. Totally disgusted life. He said, I never wanted to stay among the machines. I wanted to stay among the human beings. See? Therefore, when we are living in this world, where is our attention? On the things or on the quality of our mind. But this is where we miss the bus. So, Rishyati ekaha manim labdhva, the one who got the diamond is happy, who didn't get is angry, and viraktaha atra, the one who is totally indifferent to these diamonds is neither happy nor miserable. Therefore, priyo priya upekshe cheti akara manigastrayaha srushta jivayani chatushte rupam sadharanam. Therefore, object is one, sadharanam, diamond is one. But out of that one diamond, 3 types of things are created mentally by 3 people. See? One thing that is created, I like. Second thing is, I don't like. Third thing is, I am indifferent. When you like something, you will run after that. When you dislike something, you will run away from that. And the life is nothing but run or run. If you look within what we are doing in our life, running after the things and the beings that we like, and running away from the things and beings that we don't like. See? Suppose Niroma doesn't like me, but I don't know that. So I will go to her, Ma, how you are? And she is, my God, early morning this man is come. And I don't know that. So who is suffering? Not me. So our disliking to anybody doesn't make that person miserable. We become miserable. And he is innocent. Swami, how are you? Hare Rama, kyun aap? So, Priya liking, Apriya disliking, and indifference. These are the three ways by which the creation of the Jiva is effected in this God's creation. So, Sruštva Jiva Isha Srushti Rupam Sadharanam Trishu. Therefore, it is the same world, but different types of people are living in this world. Some are happy, some are miserable, some are miserable, some are miserable. They are more, you know. Very few are happy. The reason being their misery is not outside. Friends, from this text, if you take only one point with you, you have done a great service to yourself. Recognize, we are the sole cause for our misery. Nobody is responsible for our misery. It is our own mind. Jao to jao ka pahad ke jao. We are here to celebrate life, not for becoming miserable. But we are all the time carrying the load of the depression, rejection, frustration. Withdrawal from the world through wisdom is called a dispassion. Withdrawal from the world through ignorance is called as a depression. In both the cases, dispassion and depression, both of them are not interested in the worldly things and beings. But the one who is in depression, it's a disease. And the one who is dispassionate, it's a healthy condition. And therefore, a healthy person alone can enjoy life. Those who are mentally sick, all the time seeking attention, appreciation, nobody can help them. Help yourself. Discover that you are in this world to be a source of happiness to everyone around you. The whole approach to life will change. Otherwise, we become so self-conscious. And such people who are too self-conscious, they cannot enjoy life. See? In one of the Lions Club program, they had some program like in the big stage in Bombay. And they made me sit there. I said, okay, I'll sit there. And still they were organizing things. And there was one lady, she was walking from here to there and doing nothing. I was just observing. So I asked her, I said, excuse me, yes, what's your name? Oh, my name is Bhavana. So I laughed. Why are you laughing? I said, your parents are giving you a very good name. What is that? Bhavana means useless. Koi bhavi nahi? Free. Really? I said, yes. Why did you name me like that? I said, because you are like that. Moving here for nothing. What are you doing here? We are constantly seeking attention from the world. And then, if we don't get due attention, we become miserable. If our joy depends on appreciation by the world, we are the beggars of happiness. Discover your own happiness. And this is possible only if we take care of our mind. So, Sruštva Jiva Rishabh Sruštam Rupam Sadharanam Trishu. Now he gives an example which is our day-to-day example. nanandacha yata matityadekadha pratiyogi dhiyayoshi vidyatena swarupataha. There is only one lady, one woman. Swarupataha na vidyate. She is only one physical structure made out of the same elements like any other body. But the same one woman is differentiated as the Bharya, wife, Snusha, daughter-in-law, Nananda, sister-in-law, Yata, wife of the brother-in-law, Mata, the mother. And in this manner, that one woman is seen upon by many ways. And that one woman has got different words. As a daughter to her father and mother, she is a divine child. The same one as his daughter-in-law to the mother-in-law, she is a devil in the house. The woman is the same. But how many things are created? This relative creation born out of knowledge and action is your and my world. In God's world, there is no misery. Come to discover this. See, friends. Therefore, Sarupataha, externally the lady, the woman doesn't change. All the changes happen in our mind. See? As the father looks at his daughter with all love, compassion, the same woman, husband looks at her. No experience for me, you know better. Then the son looks at the same lady as a mother. See, how many worlds are created out of one woman? See, friends. And who are miserable behind you? The woman is not miserable. As a daughter, she is miserable. Now I have to go and get married and go to that house. Isn't there any way that we get a ghar jawai so that he can stay at home and look after the house? Then the wife naturally is miserable. Then the mother is the most miserable. In this manner, all the miseries are created in that one woman because of the Jiva's creation and not because of the God's creation. Therefore, friends, if you are disturbed, unhappy, just take this one point. Find out who is unhappy. You will come to know that the root of every unhappy entity is Mr. Somebody. Try this right away. We'll play this experiment. According to your gender, just for 2 seconds, you become mother or father. And see what thoughts come. Stop. Second experiment. You become husband or wife. And see what thoughts come. So you become in-laws or outlaws. And see what thoughts come. Now remain as nobody. And see, do thoughts come? Experiment over, open your eyes and ears. When you became mother and father, the kids were troubling you. When you became husband and wife, the wife and husband were troubling you. When you became in-laws, the daughter-in-laws were troubling you. When you became daughter-in-law, the father-in-law, mother-in-law troubling you. And when you remain nobody, no thoughts. What is spirituality? This simple thing. Remain as nobody as long as you can. This is all. It is for this purpose we are studying this chapter. In God's creation, there is nobody. In Jiva's creation, there is always somebody. See, friends. But we are unable to even recognize, diagnose this differential diagnosis. Who is miserable? It is the mother miserable, father miserable, husband miserable, wife miserable. Then what to do? Know for certain, we all have to play different roles. Play your role to the best of your ability and relax. See? Spiritual life does not mean put on various types of, ornaments, the Rudraksha mana and all kinds of manas, and different kind of, the marks on the head, red, green, yellow, white, vertical, horizontal. None of them. But the most important is just be aware as to who is disturbed, who is miserable. Immediately you will come to discover the culprit. And the moment you become aware of that body will disappear. And when we are not aware of that body, then there is a poultry farm inside. Like in the evening class when I come, before I come, the whole hall is packed and there is a poultry farm. And the moment I come, everything is quiet. In the same manner, if we remain aware, who is miserable, he will become shy. Living in awareness is living in God's creation. Getting influenced by somebody or the other is Jiva's creation. And see this somebody. Somebody does not exist. It is just an imagination. Okay. But this imagination is taken as real. See, friends, once you go deep into this understanding, you will see life is nothing but fun. It's a celebration. It's a joy. God has created this world out of happiness, not out of misery. Brahmani came and scolded, "Kuch karo." I am preparing human being. No. On the contrary, it is the advice of Brahmani that we are created. You know how we are created? First, God created stones and bricks, He was not happy. He created a plant kingdom, He was not happy. He created animal kingdom, He was not happy. And then He was frustrated and sitting with 4 hands on the forehead. So Brahmani came, "Hey ji." So Brahmani said, "Hanji." They must be Punjabis. If it is Gujarati, "Haan bol." Brahmani said, "Why are you so depressed? What happened to you? Any scam?" So I said, "No." Then, see, I have created this world, but I am not satisfied, I am not happy. When you create something and if you are really happy, then you have fulfilled yourself. But I am not happy after creating these 3 kinds of worlds. What should I do? I don't know. So I am thinking. So Brahmani said, "May I tell you something? What can you tell me? You know nothing." Every husband has got this notion. His wife is a fool. And it is true also. don't you create someone like you, but with one head? And Brahma said, hey, you are a genius. Yes. And then he created human beings. So human beings are an expression of fulfillment, joy, happiness. See, friends? We are here only for expressing happiness, no other purpose. Everything can wait. Therefore, when we are miserable, find out who is miserable. You will come to know either Bharya or Snusha or Nilanda or Yata or Mata. One of these, they are miserable. And the woman is never miserable. See, friends. The woman is the God's creation, and in the God's creation, we created so many secondary creations. Body is God's creation, but father, mother, brother, sister, husband, wife, they are our creation. And who is miserable is this, who are non-existent. Once we understand this principle, then we will live our life cheerfully and happily, although we may not be in a very conducive environment, yet we can continue to be happy. For being happy, we don't require any changes outside. All that is required is changes inside. Find out what is happening inside. It is for this purpose the teacher is giving us this topic. Nanu jnananu vidyantam akarastu na vidyate yoshit vapushit atishaya na drushto jivatin vitaha. Now here the teacher takes up a question raised by the student. Okay, the knowledge about the lady may be different. For somebody she is a daughter, somebody she is a wife, somebody she is a mother. But the lady's form is the same. She doesn't change. So what do you want to say? Because if Jiva, the soul, has created mother out of the woman, then there should be something seen in that lady. It is not seen. If a wife is created out of the same woman, something should be seen, but the woman remains the same. So how do you call it as a creation? Because in addition to the body of the woman, nothing else is seen in the mother, sister, wife, etc. is the question. So this question is answered in the 25th verse, which we will take when we are a little fresh.